Moravec through to Raoul. Lovely chip by Raoul. 4-1 Schalke.
There was a tricot gate or jersey gate or kit gate, however you want to pronounce it. Robbie Matondo, he decided to wear a Jadon Sancho jersey during a workout, and Schalke Twitter blew up. Even like the executive Joker Schneider went after Robbie Matondo. We saw a bunch of ex-Schalke players like Naldo and I forgot who else was it? Benito Covides maybe. They just were like, "What the heck are you doing, buddy?" But after all that, came out. Robbie Matondo came out and he had this long apology on Instagram, and we can get into that whether we think that was worthy of it or not. But that was certainly interesting. Speaking on that, because of all that stuff, Matondo decided to donate a 5-figure amount to a charitable institution where he also worked personally for a few hours, just trying to make amends with the Schalke faithful.
So let me just comment on that real quick. A couple of things that you just mentioned of that list. Is it just me, or did Schalke respond quicker to the Robbie Matondo situation than they did to the Clemens Tönnies comments all the way back in August? Like, it seemed like they were all over this, and Matondo issued a public statement. There was community service, like a fine or whatever was going on, and it seemed like that happened in the course of a matter of days, as opposed to the non-punishment of Tönnies just disappearing for 3 months, and the club, at least in my opinion, not taking nearly as strong of a stance as they should have. I just thought that was not the best look. But
and you're not the only one who saw that. Marie, what was your take on that Schalke reacted so quickly with Robbie Matondo as opposed to the former chairman when he made his comments?
Well, I wouldn't even go so far as to compare the two, because I think we're dealing with two different things, and even putting them in comparison to each other, I think is unfair to Matondo, because it's basically, on the one end, you've got this rivalry little stick thing. Comparing that to like racism in professional football, to me, is unfair to Matondo to even like put them in the same sentence. Yeah. But I do think that this is a guy, I just felt really bad for him, because he sent this like really heartfelt apology, and I just think the whole thing stank. I think it stinks that he was criticized publicly. He's 19, he's living in a foreign country, and he was criticized publicly by the sporting director, who I think used this as an opportunity to like try and get in with the ultras or whatever. And I mean, again, we live in this echo chamber that is Twitter, but from what I garnered on there, people weren't even that bothered. At least the majority weren't, and everyone kind of laughed it off and was like, okay, they're mates, whatever. If anything, the Dortmund fans, of course, thought this was hilarious. Yeah. But I don't think that Schalke fans were like, going wild about this in a negative sense. So I don't know. I think the whole thing, again, was us kind of bringing bad negative press onto ourselves. And it really, I think by issuing a public statement and then the punishment, it just drew attention onto it. And it could have been an absolute non-story, in my opinion, but then it wasn't.
Yeah, it could have been a quick one-day thing, where people instant react and that's it. But it got blown out way out of proportion, Jack. I know you tried to hold back in commenting, but it was.
I tried to stay away from it for the most part on Twitter, just because I woke up one morning and it was all over the place, and I'm like, I have no.
I'm going back to bed.
Energy and talk, like the kid. Yeah, as Marie said, he's in a foreign country. He's friends with Jadon Sancho. That was a private training session that he wasn't aware was going to be photographed or published. Was it a smart move? No, it's not a smart move to wear the jersey of your rival. But I mean, in terms of this is not. I don't think it was that big of a deal. I don't think it was something that he intended to have go public. He was in a private session wearing the jersey of a player he respects in front of his. So yeah, definitely not a big deal for sure.
Yeah, by all accounts, they're best mates too. So I mean, yeah, part of it is being naive and not knowing, but yeah, it became a story when it really shouldn't have been, and unfortunately for him and for us, because we've been in the news already.